It's granola bar making time. Okay, so I have a cup and a half of rolled oats. I've got 1 tablespoon of brown sugar. The Pampered Chef recipe actually calls for 3. I find it a little bit too sweet. I've got half a teaspoon of baking soda. And I'm going to take 2 tablespoons of butter, melted butter. So this is, oh, and I'm gonna add the honey. This is a 1/4 cup of honey. When you're making granola bars, you can add any kind of binder that you want. So I've got honey, but you could use something like agave. You could use brown rice syrup. That is better for you from a glycemic index part. And so this is the base level of our baked granola bars. They are so delicious. So I'm gonna just mix them up here with the small mix and scraper and get it all wet, okay? So I'm just, making sure those rolled oats get the sticky, gooey honey, and so the butter is delicious. If you wanted to substitute oil for the butter, you can do that as well. Now this is where the fun part comes in. You get to add whatever kind of mixes or mix-ins that you would like. So this is one of my favorites. I add in some dried cranberries. So I've got about a 1/4 cup of dried cranberries, about half a cup of chocolate chips. I've got the regular size semi-sweet chocolate chips. The mini ones do work a little bit better just because they're smaller. And then in here, I've got some dried coconut. I'm just gonna chop it. Do a little bit more. So for this recipe, the total you want to add in for the mix-ins, or like basically what gives you the most flavor, you want to have a total capacity of 1 cup. You don't want to go beyond that. Just going to dump it in, and I'm going to stir it up. And if you have small kids or if you have grandchildren, this is an awesome activity to do with them because it doesn't take very long at all. And then they can pick what they want to have in it. So they feel like they have control over it and are more apt to eat it. The nice thing when you make your own granola bars, so snack bar maker, is that you know everything that's in it. You know what you're eating. And that's the one thing that I love. There's no preservatives, there's no junk going into them. And the other part of it that I love is that there's not a whole lot of waste. There's not a ton of packaging that's just being used to get you to bring it from one spot to another. Instead, it can just go into a reusable container and off to work with you or to school. And that's that. So I'm just taking the large scoop and filling it. Okay, I'm not being picky about it. I'm gonna take this and flatten it out. Okay, like that. So I'm gonna finish that. The other option that you can do is you can take the baker's roller and roll it as well. I'm gonna pop it into the oven for on my oven, I'm gonna say about 14 minutes. The recipe says 14 to 16 minutes. Pull it out, put the lid onto it, pop them into the freezer, and then they literally just pop out. Okay, delicious, healthy, easy granola bars that anyone can make. Okay, so I just popped these out of the oven, and sometimes they kind of shift around a little bit. So I just take my mini nylon scraper and just kind of fix them up and make sure everything is in place. I like to push them down a little bit again. It just, because they're really, really hot right now, so that's why I'm not touching them. They're hot, and it just brings all the ingredients together like I said before, if you wanted to, you could use the baker's roller and just roll them, okay? And then it comes with a lid. So I just take the lid and I pop it on like that. Get it on. Oops, I think I've got some ingredients down. There we are. And then, because it's still hot, put your oven mitts on. Oops. And then pop them into the freezer for about 10 minutes and they'll be ready to just pop right out.